Hello all and welcome to All Red. Liverpool are about to host a load of Bologna at Anfield as Bologna FC 1909 comes to the Reds' home for match day 2 in the Champions League. This is the channel that is all Liverpool all the time. It's All Red. Please hit that like button on this video and consider subscribing as we continue to build an amazing LFC fan channel here on YouTube. We do it for the people. Liverpool are hosting Bologna at Anfield, and this is a crucial match, not because Bologna are a huge club, but because these are the games that Liverpool must win in the Champions League to make it to the second round. Bologna are a team that played very well last season and have had a very slow start this season, including a 0-0 draw against Shakhtar in their first Champions League match, which was a snoozer. And now they have to come to Anfield to play against Liverpool, who we all know have had a fantastic start to their season. And so, Liverpool, if you look at the matches coming up, they've got, let me look real quick. So they've got Bologna, they've got Crystal Palace, and then they're off for 2 weeks, another international break. So this is a game where I think Slot is going to play his preferred 11 with the notion that there's not going to be this massive slate of games coming up. Now, after that international break, of course, we're going to have a big-time slate of games coming up. But for now, I think Liverpool are safe to put out their strongest 11, and they need to, because this is a game where they need to win. And arneslot is going to have, 5 substitutions that he can make throughout the course of this game, and I think he'll do that. I think he'll utilize those quite a bit with, another Premier League game 2 days later on Saturday away to Palace. So let's jump in here to the Liverpool starting 11. I think Alisson starts between the sticks. Looked good against Wolves. Looks like he was fully fit and back to his normal self. And I fully expect him to start. I think it's going to be Konate. I think Konate's been too good to sit. I don't see a reason to sit him. I think, Slot will have a good monitor on his fitness, but Konate has been our most important defender by far this season, which is crazy to think because I think a lot of us, myself included, thought that this would be Kwanzaa's position this season, but Konate has thankfully proved us wrong. He's not only defending, he's scoring goals. We've seen him now score 2 very crucial goals, one against AC Milan in our first Champions League match and one against Wolves, to get us, back to where we needed to be. So anyways, Konate's been a monster for us, and I think he needs to start this one. He's one who I think could come off if we're in a somewhat comfortable spot against Bologna. I think he could come off, and Kwanzaa could come in, or Gomez could come in and do his job for the last third of the game or so. My left and right backs, I'm going Trent and Robbo. Both of those guys I think need to start. I think Tsimikas could come in for Robertson if he's not fully fit, but I think he will be. He came off in the 89th minute against Wolves, but I think Robertson is crucial at this point. I don't think Tsimikas has shown that he's quite ready to jump into arneslot's machine and perform like we know Andy Robertson can. So I'm putting Grav and Maka into the midfield at this point. Those 2 guys are some of the most important guys on the team sheet. And, MacCallister and Gravenberch have been absolutely fantastic. You could make an argument, and this is not a very difficult argument to make, that Gravenberch has been the man of the match in every single game Liverpool have played this season. He is so important to the way that arneslot wants to play. That position, he is incredible. And he's done the job every single game. It's not just the position that makes him good. It's the skill, it's the vision, it's his ability to turn, and it's his ability to defend. Gravenberch is not just this attacking midfielder that, has slotted into a defensive midfield position. He is a fantastic defender in the midfield, and he has proven that he can be world-class in that position. That's right, I'm calling him a world-class number 6 now. So Gravenberch and MacCallister, I think, have to be in that midfield for games like this where we have to win these games. And then I think it's going to be Salah. And probably the biggest surprise on the team sheet, I think, here is Curtis Jones. Probably not a huge surprise because I think everybody's starting to realize that Szoboszlai just hasn't been great so far. Szoboszlai has not been the player that we expect him to be. And at the same time, I think he can get there. I think Szoboszlai is good enough to get there. He must get there. And I think Slot will get him there. But I think Curtis Jones deserves a start in this more advanced midfield role. I think he's looked pretty good in the times where he's come in. He had an assist against, was it West Ham in the Carabao Cup? And that second half, he looked very good after he got the first half to get his legs underneath him. So Jones, I think, will be fresh, and I think he'll be ready to take this role on against Bologna at home. And I think it's a great match to get him in and see what he can do. I think Luis Diaz takes up his role on the left. This is probably the one position where I would question Diaz versus Gakpo, because Gakpo's been so good when we've seen him in. But, Diaz is one where I think, he's one of Slot's preferred attackers, maybe the preferred attacker for Slot, and he's really relished his chances. He came off in the 73rd minute against Wolves, which kind of, I think, signaled that he would start against Bologna at home. And then Darwin. I think it's Darwin's game. Wasn't on the team sheet against Wolves. He was ill, but, if he's able to come back, if he's fully fit, I would say this is Darwin's position, with Jota playing a full 90 plus against Wolves. And I think Darwin would perform very well against Bologna. If Darwin is not yet back to health, then maybe perhaps we see Chiesa, maybe perhaps we see Gakpo. There is an embarrassment of riches at this position, and maybe Jota comes in, but 2 full 90s in the span of 3 or 4 days, I don't think is good for Jota. So I would say let's get Darwin in there if he's healthy and see what he can do against Bologna. But, we'll see. We'll see what Slot has in mind. I guess what I want to see here is I want to see a, really, really strong 11 to secure the 3 points, crucial 3 points against Bologna at home. This is probably the match where you look at their Champions League, Liverpool's Champions League schedule, and you say they surely must be winning this game at home against Bologna. And so we will not say it is a guarantee by any means, but that is why we need our best 11 out there. And I think this would be our best 11 on Wednesday against Bologna. So we're very excited to see what they can do against this side. Excited to potentially see more of Darwin and more of Curtis Jones. And see what we can do. I'm going to give you my score prediction. This is a game where, it could go one of 2 ways. The first way would be the bad way, and it is the Liverpool that plays down to their opponents comes out and has a slow start, and Bologna gets a, lucky early goal, and we're playing from behind. And then, we come back and we score 3, and it's 3-1. Or we could come out firing and, potentially get 4 goals and concede 0, because I think this is a team where we should be getting a clean sheet. So let me think about this. I'm going to say Liverpool concede 0. Okay, we're coming away with a clean sheet at home, and we put 5. I'm going 5-0, guys. I'm sorry. That is bold. 5-0 in the Champions League. but I'm going to stick with that. 5-0. Call me crazy. Call me out of the comments. Get those comments in below, and we'll have a civil discussion about what Liverpool could potentially do against a stack of Bologna at home at the Fortress of Anfield. So up the Reds, of course, and we continue our Champions League journey under arneslot.
Yeah, of course.